The game I did want to talk about this week is Donkey Kong Country, which I posted on the forum about in the gaming diary. I finished it. Took me about 2 and a bit hours. And I said pretty much everything I wanted to say about it there, but it was actually kind of a disappointing experience on some level. That it wasn't as good as I remembered. The nostalgia is wearing off a little bit. The first half of the game is fantastic in terms of the levels that you play, sort of the worlds that you go through, like the jungle, the forest, the snow world, and the mines, not the mines, the caves, sorry, at the beginning. And then it just sort of takes a bit of a nosedive, in my opinion, after that. Like, I'm not a big fan of the Industrial Zone, and the one after it I have no nostalgia for because I didn't get that far as a kid. And I found it to be more frustrating than sort of enjoyable overall. And the bosses were kind of disappointing as well. They were extremely easy. K. Rool took me a couple of attempts, but again, it wasn't like, it didn't feel sort of grand or epic. You just arrive on his boat, start fighting, kill him, and then that's it. Game's over. So, I mean, I had Donkey Kong Country, and I played it a lot, especially the first few worlds, but I never completed it when I was, I must have been like 9 or 10 years old. And me and my best friend had it, and he had a German student staying with him back in like 95 or 96, whatever it was. And we watched the guy finish the game, basically. We sat down in the living room while he finished it. And that was the only experience of the ending that I'd ever had before. And then a couple of years later, I got Donkey Kong Country 2. And I much preferred that game. I did finish that game. And I don't think I completed it 100%, but I definitely beat the final boss and did most of the secret world levels. And I just find that game to be much more enjoyable overall. I think the level design is more interesting. The variety in the worlds is much more interesting, with like the sort of theme park world, and the secret world's pretty interesting as well, but it still retains more of that sort of, the jungle levels are better, or the forest levels. The pirate ship at the beginning is really cool. I prefer Dixie to Donkey Kong as well.
I was going to say,
as a character.
I think the second game does have probably the best combo of characters, like the way like Dixie, you can like hover with her and stuff. It's yeah,
and I think the collectibles are better as well. Like getting the DK coin, getting the cog letters, and finding the bonus areas. Just, I think it's a little bit better in DKC 2 than in the first one. However, the first game, the music and the atmosphere are still like, it's still kind of unbelievable to think that that's a Super Nintendo game. Like, it still looks fairly good, I think, and it doesn't look like it looks more like an early PlayStation game, I would say, than a SNES game. But yeah, DKC2 definitely perfected what Donkey Kong Country was trying to do, and I honestly found some of the platforming to be more frustrating than intuitive. The collision detection is horrible. Like, there's a couple of times when I died either on a ledge or with an enemy when I shouldn't have, in my opinion. And I don't know, like, it is a really good game, but it definitely feels like more stuck in its time than if we took Mario 3 or Super Mario World, I would say. I think they've aged considerably better than Donkey Kong Country. And I remember playing through Country 2 a couple of years ago. Maybe 2016, I think it was, on the 3DS. And I had a much better time with that than I did with this. I mean, I still enjoyed it, but there was definitely, the flaws are a lot more noticeable now than they were in 1995 or 6. But yeah, good fun. So glad it got added to the online app. I hope the other two come as well. And it's the second game that I've beat. I did Super Mario Kart back in January, I think, 100%, and I've done this 68%, so I might try and look for the secret endings, but probably not, to be honest. I'd be satisfied with the win.
Would be interested in jumping online with you, actually. For the secret.
That would be a good idea, actually.
That would be fun.
Because I have no idea where they are in the last couple of worlds, so it's going to take me a while to do them.
You should record that as well, Greg.
Maybe. I'm not sure. Like, there's There's some bonuses that I know immediately where they are in
Yeah.
the levels. Like, I'm sure I could probably show you a few things, but there are some that I wouldn't know. Like, I know my friends would be able to, like, they can fly through the game and they know exactly where everything is. And Red Dead Redemption 2 there, like, I think the slowness you talked about is the thing that would really put me off the game. Like, I made it quite a way through the first Red Dead Redemption on PS3 and felt like I was having a decent enough time. And then, like, my hard drive corrupted.
Oh, no.
And I lost everything.
What was that on PS3?
PS3, yeah. And I did try to start the game again and just could not be bored. Like, I was just finding it really irritating again. I
can see that.
I know that Red Dead Redemption 2 would probably irritate me possibly even more because, like, generally I don't really like open world games that much, and the slow pace would really put me off. Like, I think if Red Dead Redemption, like, if they'd somehow structured like a much more linear experience or something where it was all like set pieces and stuff, I think it's the sort of game that I would really like a lot more. But it is what it is, and like people love it for what it is. So,
well, luckily you've got cloud saves now, so if that happened again, actually on PS4 I don't think you have to have PS Plus, don't you, to have cloud saves?
I think on PS3 I think you had to have PS Plus to have cloud saves. Yeah.
I mean, one more thing I will say about that game: the acting is phenomenal, and the story and the story writing as well is really interesting. I'm hooked on the story, and it's really well acted and really well animated as well. Like the facial expressions and the camera shots and everything. It's like playing a movie. Seriously, the only thing I will say is that maybe you need to have some knowledge of Red Dead Redemption 1 to fully appreciate, because there's a lot of stuff that I'm not really sure what they're referring to in this game, so I don't know if that's intentional and everything will be revealed later, or whether it's kind of you need to understand the first game to get it. But yeah, it's classic Rockstar, just done. It's the most modern Rockstar game, and you can tell basically. The story writing's always been one of the strengths, and like GTA 4, I think this is going to be one of my favourite game stories when it's all said and done.
Cool. That's recently just come out on PC, isn't it? On Steam.
I think it was December last year, I think. But it went on sale this week. Okay. That's why I picked it up.
Okay. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give us a like if you've enjoyed our content. You can also check out our other great content on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and the N-E Café podcast from all good podcast providers. Just follow the links in the description below.